Hello, my name is Dr. Chris Crain, and I'm Associate Professor of Historical and Pastoral Theology here at Erskine Theological Seminary. In this spring, I'm going to be teaching Reformation and Modern Church History. I'd like to start by reading from the Bible, from 1 Timothy. Paul writes to Timothy, "I hope to come to you soon, but I am writing these things to you so that, if I delay, you may know how one ought to behave in the household of God, which is the church of the living God, a pillar and buttress of the truth." So Paul encourages Timothy. He wants to come to him and share with him how to live in the household of God, which is the church. So the church is God's household. And God's house in time got a little messed up, a little dirty. And so in Reformation and Modern Church History, what we're doing is we're studying how God raised up some reformers to come in and clean house, so to speak. The reformers did not say that there was no church for 1,500 years. Instead, they said the church has become encrusted with error. And we want to come in and restore the church to a more biblical form. We want to purify the church. So that's one of the first things we study in Reformation and Modern Church History, is how God raised up reformers like Calvin and Luther and others to restore the church to a more original biblical form. Another thing that we study is the various denominations and groups and offshoots that came forth from this. For instance, we're at Erskine Theological Seminary. It's a Presbyterian denomination. Well, how did that come about? What about other denominations like the Baptist and the Methodist and non-denominational and many other types of denominations? Where did they come from? How do they relate to the Reformation? So that's the second aspect of what we're going to study. In the third part, I want to study how the church has responded to the Enlightenment and Modernity. That's where we find ourselves right now. Even though we call this a postmodern age, really we're just extending further, at least in our culture, the Enlightenment and Modernity project, if you will. So what has the church learned? What are the challenges that the church has faced in seeking to combat the errors of the Enlightenment and Modernity? And what's the way forward?